This is Tim Bryce with my column titled, Why Trump Must Run Again. The state of California represents a microcosm of the utopian world Democrats envision for the United States. It is essentially a two-class society featuring the elites and working class. The middle class is fleeing the state in droves and taking their money with them, representing the economic engine businesses and government depend on to operate. Consequently, the cost of living has skyrocketed, the state is in debt, taxes are on the rise, and the government is enacting more rules and regulations routinely, thereby choking the lives of the citizens and businesses remaining there. Even if you decide to leave the state, your assets come under the scrutiny of the state's Office of Tax Appeals. Not surprising, therefore, California is dependent on federal subsidies to help bail them out, something all American taxpayers must pay for. The California experiment may be applauded by Democrats, but everyone else sees it as a cesspool. California has also embraced the concept of defunding police departments and catch and release of criminals, meaning crime is rising dramatically, thereby deterring tourism and the safety of the citizenry. In other words, the state is no longer a fun place to visit and can actually be quite risky. Bankruptcies are also up in the Golden State, and state government workers have a mandate to wear masks and take COVID-19 vaccinations. No wonder Californians are fleeing to Republican states such as Texas and Florida. In all likelihood, all Democrat-led states will follow California's model, particularly Illinois, Michigan, Massachusetts, New Jersey, and New York. Not surprising, Americans are hopelessly divided over the State of the Union. Recent polls indicate the country is heading in the wrong direction, and President Biden's ratings keep sagging. So Republicans are wondering who will stand up to the Democrats in the 2024 presidential election. Even though President Trump is the early favorite, having easily won 2 CPAC straw polls, some Republicans, particularly moderate rhinos, are concerned with his electability. Again, we hear the lament, well, he doesn't act presidential. Well, maybe. But if the former president has taught us anything, he knows how to get things done, such as securing the border, curbing unemployment, producing a robust economy, energy independence, facing down our international competition, our Jerusalem embassy, producing the COVID-19 vaccine, and much more. The only other possible candidates as of today are Florida Governor Ron DeSantis and South Dakota Governor Kristi Noem. Both good people, but lack the skill to do battle with the loony left, although both are learning. Frankly, what is needed is a wartime president who knows how to do battle with the Democrats. That only leaves Donald Trump as one person who knows how to fight back. The Democrats already know this and explains why they continue to attack him savagely even though he is out of office. For example, the histrionics of the Democrats' January 6th committee is carefully choreographed and designed to bring shame on President Trump. The point is, the American public has already made up their mind on the subject and either approve or reject what is said by this committee. Basically, this is a colossal waste of time and intended to deflect criticism of Democrats as we approach the 2022 congressional elections. Trump alone stands in the way of the Democrats' agenda to realize their utopian world, which is why they will say and do anything, whether it is legal or not, to keep him from returning to power. As a businessman, President Trump learned a long time ago you do not run from a fight, particularly if you are right. Failure to do so is an admission of guilt. This is why he makes the most foreboding candidate to take down the Democrat machine. Governors DeSantis and Noem understand the problem, but may not be ready for the fight quite yet. As an outsider, Trump doesn't particularly care what politicians think of him, including members of his own party. He is more interested in the American people and results, including securing our government for future generations. While Democrats will try to portray him as an evil demigod, Mr. Trump will wear his 2 impeachments as a red badge of courage, which will actually serve as an asset as opposed to a liability in the next election. What we have to understand is that the 2024 presidential election will be the most costly and bloodthirsty in our history. The Democrats and their minions, the news media, will see to that. To independents and Republicans, including rhinos, You have to ask yourself, are you satisfied with how the Democrats are running the government? If not, who possesses the chutzpah to wrestle the government away from the Democrats before we go the way of California? Forget personalities for a moment. Ask yourself, who will get the job done? Only one name comes to my mind: Donald Trump. Friends, keep the faith. This is Tim Bryce in Palm Harbor, Florida. Follow me on the internet at timbryce.com.